Yes, I'm wearing black right now. And I mean, I could have worn black at the start of the season because I knew where this season was going. The Giants were not ever going to make the playoffs this year, and nor did I expect them to. But they are now 1-2 in the division, 1-6 on the year after failing to go down to Philly and come away with a win. When the Giants had a huge opportunity to come away with the W. I don't understand why the Giants choose to torture their long, loyal fan base. I mean, the Giants haven't been relevant basically since 2016. And even that was kind of lucky. We bought that playoff spot, and we did get smoked by Aaron Rodgers in the wild card round. But I mean, they that team wasn't good. It did was it hid some glaring holes that they have and still have, and the Giants have actually gotten worse since Dave Gettleman has taken over. I mean, Andrew Thomas, the Giants had their pick of the litter when it came to offensive tackles in the draft. And they chose Andrew Thomas. And yes, I was okay with it. I was like, all right, he is the most pro ready um, tackle in the draft. So I didn't knock him for that. But he has so many glaring holes. He can't, his pass blocking is atrocious. I mean, Daniel Jones is basically getting sacked every play. I mean, thankfully his run blocking isn't terrible. So the Giants actually had a good game on the ground last night. And the thing is, that was what they needed to do to win. They needed to run the ball because the Eagles haven't really had that good of a run stopping defense. I mean, I'll go back to 2018 with Saquon Barkley. The and Pat Shermer decided not to run the ball in the second half. I think they ran 5 times in the second half. It was ridiculous. And then the Eagles came back and won. And it was the same thing. And actually Gallman looked good last night. He actually ran. He showed what Gettleman saw in him, and by taking him in the draft a couple of years ago, and you're now seeing that Gallman can be a lead back. Because, at least in my opinion, he showed that he can run and he can break tackles, and he's small enough to get through some holes that look very minuscule. But you know, the defense, I don't understand the defense. I don't know how they can rush with 3 passers. I don't know why they sit back and let people complete passes. And they need a touchdown. So just it boggles my mind. And the Giants just are like, oh, okay, well, let them march right down the field. And on the opening job, that's exactly what they did. And at the end of the game, they basically where the Giants could have iced it. I mean, the game actually slipped through Evan Ingram's hands. Daniel Jones threw a beautiful pass on 3rd and what was it, 7, and it was back. It wasn't even it was over the shoulder, and all he had to do was if he could have dove, he could have just maybe caught the ball. Does he really know how to catch? I don't. I honestly don't think he does. But the ball goes right. It goes right through his hands. It was a little out there, but he threw. Daniel Jones threw it where nobody but him could get it, and he didn't make a play. Evan Ingram failed to make a play, which is a regular occurrence now. He he is unable to make plays. Like he'll fumble pitches, he'll miss blocks, he'll run wrong routes. He doesn't put, to me at least, it doesn't look like he's putting a lot of effort into playing the game of football. And last night was evident where if he really wanted to catch that ball, he could have caught that ball, and he didn't. And then the Eagles took over after the Giants punted, and the Eagles marched right down the field, aided with some penalties, of course, and also Hartage. I'm probably butchering his name, but he. I mean, they brought him. They brought him on the team, and they have him starting and playing meaningful minutes. It's just it drives me absolutely up the wall. And I mean, when the Giants went up by 11 points, I was like, okay, that's good, but the Giants need to con, like 4-minute offense. You know, get some first downs. Drain the clock, and of course, the defense lets the Eagles get a big passing touchdown uh, to shorten the lead. But I've really had it with this team, and I've said that quite a few times. I mean, because I've been a Giant fan since I was knee high to a grasshopper. But now when I'm starting to actually understand things, and now I'm starting my own YouTube channel, you just see it. And I don't know how the Giants can afford to. I don't know how the Giants have been successful in staying in business, because Mara doesn't know what he's doing. I don't care what he says. Gettleman should be fired today. He should have been fired last week. He basically should have gone out the door with Shermer. They should have just cleaned house then, and then they could. Then Joe Judge would be the new coach. After he was hired, Gettleman should have been shown the door. Because in my opinion, I think Gettleman got that right in hiring Joe Judge, because I do. I love Joe Judge. But, I mean, a lot of what he's doing isn't going to be really appreciated by anybody as long as the Giants keep losing. And the Giants now fall to 1-6 on the year, 1-2 in the division, a very weak division. But you know what? There's nothing I can really say or do. I just hope next week, which they're probably going to get plastered by the Buccaneers, but we'll see what happens. All right. Macho Camacho out.